Hey guys, this is Wanda the Traveling Dutchie here, and today we're going to talk about Cartagena, Colombia. Specifically, what happened during my first visit, where I actually didn't like Cartagena at all, and now it's one of my favorite places to visit in Colombia. If you're new to this channel, I'm a Dutch expat. I've been living between Costa Rica for the last 16 years and on and off in Colombia for the last 2 years. And with my channel, I'd like to show you anything related to Costa Rica and Colombia travel and expat living. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And make sure to take that little bell icon so you receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Now let's get into it, you guys. My first visit to Cartagena, Colombia was actually a disaster. I actually changed my flight to get back home earlier. It was that bad. So what happened was, it's very bizarre. So I have traveled a lot. I've traveled over 40 different countries. I've traveled alone a lot, and I have never experienced what I experienced in Cartagena. At the time, I was actually visiting a friend of mine. She lives in Medellin, and I had never been to Cartagena, so she told me, you have to go to Cartagena. It's so beautiful, and you have to stay in Boca Grande. It's going to be amazing. So I followed her advice. I flew from Medellin to Cartagena, took a taxi. I arrived in Boca Grande. You'll see, Boca Grande is more of a destination where you have high rises at the beach. That was not necessarily my kind of thing, so I wanted to be in the old town of Cartagena. So I traveled a lot between Boca Grande and the old town of Cartagena, and every time I traveled in between those places, there was just always some type of harassment going on. And the first time I was walking from my hotel to the old city, and I was walking, and there were a lot of people, like guys, like following me and saying all kinds of stuff. Obviously I speak Spanish, so I heard what they were saying, and I just said very politely, no gracias, and I kept on walking. And apparently they found that rude, so then the guys would actually grab me by my arm. And normally I would be, like a bit spicy, like don't touch me or anything, but I was actually afraid. So I just, like walked faster, kept saying, no gracias. I actually felt intimidated, and I don't ever feel intimidated. So that was my first walk to the old city. Then I took a taxi back, and then in the taxi, I'm sitting on the right back seat. And a taxi would go, turn around, and look at me from bottom to top and saying, your husband should not leave you alone. It is just bizarre. I have so many more examples of guys just like, unpleasantly harassing you. So then I kind of like stopped traveling. I stayed in my hotel and the surroundings, but I didn't really like Boca Grande as much as I did the old town. And I just got this like terrible feeling that I actually didn't feel comfortable being there. So I actually booked a flight back to Medellin at the time. So then fast forward, I came back with my significant other. He wanted to go. I first didn't want to go, but then I did some more reading, and since I obviously love the old town so much, we made sure we stayed in the walled city of the old town, in a gorgeous hotel. And I don't know if you've been to Cartagena, but the colonial architecture there is to die for. It's just like going back in time, the colors, just, walking around the old town, absolutely fabulous. They have amazing restaurants, cute shops, and there's a lot to do in and around. Like, there's the Islas Rosarias. We actually went there. We had an amazing stay. I absolutely loved it. We actually stayed quite long, for like 6 days. So we really got to know Cartagena, and I'm in love with it. I can't wait to go back. So it's so funny how my first experience was awful, and my second is like, oh my God, now it's one of my favorite cities in Colombia. And now that I have your attention, check out this restaurant here. This is my favorite restaurant in Cartagena. I was not smart enough to actually remember what the name is. So if you recognize this restaurant, please let me know what the name is. If not, don't worry. I'm gonna go back and eat there again. I'll remember to find it. Anyways, I just wanted to share my experience with you. Cartagena is absolutely beautiful. I don't know what the experience is of other, like female travelers traveling solo is. For me, it was not a good experience, so I'll never do that again. And on top of that, I wanted to stay in the walled city because the walled city is super safe. There's a lot of cops. Like, I was actually making a video for my YouTube channel, like walking around with my camera all over Cartagena. Felt perfectly safe. There is like a lot of cops there, so they're there for a reason. Either way, if you haven't been to Cartagena yet, I highly recommend you do so. Stay in the old town. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous hotels and restaurants. I really love Colombia's Caribbean coast, and I'm sure so will you. Check out my channel for any other videos. I want to thank you for watching, and for now, ciao. See you next time.